I should actually do a good job of writing up this recipe because this is very good. Wow. Well done.
Oh, hi there. My name is Andy, and welcome to the Cakes Have Eyes in my perfect kitchen where nothing ever goes wrong, and I definitely don't ever storm out in tears.
Okay, oh shit. Okay,
Oh, shit! Today, I'm making a cake inspired by arguably what is my favorite movie. We'll get into it. Alien. Oh, when you're thinking about Alien and a cake, the obvious thing is the bleh, blood effect. Veronica Cartwright screaming, chest bursting scene. But I think the greatest twist in Alien, the greatest terror, the greatest scare is when it's revealed that the horror is not exactly the xenomorph. The horror is that the company these people work for absolutely consider their life forfeit for this specimen that the company wants. They are willing to kill their employees and have them all die because they want something. And someone they thought was on their side, Ash, is actually been plotting to help kill them this whole time. So, because of the evil corporations in our world, I am so excited to make The cake is a robot. The cake is a goddamn robot! Cake. Ash, as a robot, as a goddamn robot, kind of sweats milk. And when he gets decapitated, I guess, and put back together in Alien, he kind of has this like noodly, milk spurty, gory, but not really gory, cause just kind of weird looking milky interior. So it made me think, oh, for this cake is a goddamn robot cake, I will make a milk tea and vermicelli cake. The cake is milk tea layers with a vermicelli kind of pudding cake in the middle, covered in ermine frosting as a crumb coat, cover all of that in fondant, and then I'm gonna add a milk sweat to it. Yeah, it's wild, it's a lot. I'm giving myself 2 days to make it. What could go wrong? Okay, let's go make this inspired by Alien. The cake is a goddamn robot. Cake. Let's go. I'm going to make 2 layers of milk tea cake. It's essentially a milk and honey based cake. I've infused the milk with some black tea, and I'm also replacing about half of the white sugar with brown sugar. Now, because of that, the brown sugar is going to throw off the liquid balance of the cake a little bit. So I've actually reduced the amount of honey and milk by about 10% in the cake. That might not be enough. When I'm mixing it, if the batter looks especially runny, I'm probably gonna add a little bit more flour. I think I've got it worked out, but especially when it comes to liquid and cakes, you gotta know what kind of consistency you're looking for. Especially things like humidity in a unair conditioned kitchen can really mess up your ingredients. It's winter, so it's pretty dry. So I should be safe using brown sugar, especially because this recipe doesn't have that much sugar in it. It's about 3/4 cup total. So it's not a ton of sugar, but we're gonna see what happens. The cakes smell incredible. They're browning a lot because of well, they're just browning a lot. They smell incredible, so hopefully they'll be done soon. I have no idea how big of a pot I need for this, but let's make this vermicelli style cake. These vermicelli noodles are taking forever to brown. It said it would brown after 3 to 4 minutes on low. I've now cranked it up to medium for another 4 minutes. Still nothing. So I've cranked them up to high now, and if after a minute they don't brown any, I'm just gonna call it a day. And now the vermicelli is browning. Okay, perfect. It's all coming together at once. Boom. Water, sugar, and extracts. Well, these look and smell delicious. Think why I thought, oh, cake is a goddamn robot cake, is because that scene where Ash is revealed to be a robot is beautiful for many different reasons. One, it establishes the true villain. When Ash reveals that the company basically gave this robot orders to go get a specimen and that the crew doesn't matter, their lives are forfeit, it's a level of horror that is so much scarier, especially when you think of it in the context of the characters. Sigourney Weaver, Veronica Cartwright, all the other characters, no matter how scared they are, at least they still think like, oh, well, it's us versus this monster. To then reveal that they are actually basically bait / food for this monster, I mean, the level of just absolute terror that comes across Sigourney Weaver's face when she realizes that is Academy Award worthy. It feels very thick. I mean, it's still running, but it's also currently boiling. I feel like if I don't call it and it runs, tomorrow I'm gonna curse at myself that it's not set enough. And if it oversets and it's basically like rubber, I'm gonna kick myself for cooking it too long. So that's fun. Or maybe I'll take it off and it'll be perfect and I'll be like, oh my God, I timed it exactly right. I'm so good at this. I bet that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, I bet that's what's gonna happen. This smells so good. Hot. Okay, I've got my noodle layers cooling, and honestly, they're already setting pretty well in these pans. I've got my cakes cooling. So all I need to do tonight still is I'm gonna mix up some fondant. It needs to set for 12 hours anyway. So once this stuff cools, I'm gonna cover it with plastic wrap. The cakes I'm gonna leave at room temperature. I don't even really need to level them. Make some fondant, set it to set overnight. And then I'll come back tomorrow and put it all together. Why don't I do this every time? I always tell myself to spread it over 2 days. This is so much less stressful. Remember, Okay, I'll be back. I crumb-coated the cake with an ermine frosting infused with black tea. And now it's time for me to try to do fondant. I have made little pieces of fondant before, but I've never actually covered a cake in fondant. So, as always, why not do it on video? So here we go. Theoretically, this cake is 7.5 by about 4.5. So I guess I need to roll it to 16 inches. I need a 16-inch circle to drape over this. I have no idea if this is the right amount of fondant to do that. Oh, and my sill mat is exactly 16 inches. I think this is going to be way too much fondant for a 16-inch circle at 1/8 inch diameter, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I'm going to put down a little bit of corn flour. Really just a smear, really, of corn flour. Okay, no idea how this is going to go. Let's see. Ooh, but now it's starting to stick to the sill mat. Okay, I think you're pliable enough. Watching this is probably screaming at me to do it a different way, but... well, that's not great. Okay. Definitely could use all of this. I don't want to use all of it. You know what? My 1/8 guides are actually about 16 inches across too, so as I'm exceeding 16 inches, it's kind of naturally trimming itself. Take my ceramics tools, just trim it a little bit more. Oh God, please. Oh, I'm so scared. Okay. Here we go. Please don't tear too badly. Oh God, oh, it's tearing. Oh, it's tearing so much. I'm supposed to have some sort of smoothing tool. I don't. I'm gonna just use plastic wrap. You know what? As always, I really should have watched a video about how you're supposed to do this. Oh, I'm figuring it out. Okay. So it feels like what you do is with this ribbon of fondant, if I just kind of slowly and gradually press it down, the fondant kind of starts stretching. I am not looking for a perfectly smooth fondant finish, which is good because I physically would not be able to accomplish that. People who are able to get fondant perfectly smooth and make beautiful fondant cakes, hats off to you, because it is not easy. Let's say so. Oh. It's not great. It definitely tastes better than most fondant, honestly, I get at a lot of bakeries. I wonder if there's something that bakers have to put into their fondant to make it more shelf stable, or that makes it more elastic, that also makes it taste worse. Tastes worse. Fondant covered cake, look at that. Ooh, don't look too closely, but look at that, but not too closely. Okay, I'm going to make some eyes out of white modeling chocolate, get out my cake plate, and stuff for a quick icing. Okay, we're almost there. Cake. Oh, you know the nice thing about fondant is I can put my hand here without completely ruining it. Versus with frosting, if you do this, you leave a big handprint. I want a very runny icing. I'm looking for an icing that mimics that bead of sweat running down Ash's face when he's attacking Ripley. Yeah, this is too thick. But the thing with icing is, I'm not even gonna add a whole tablespoon again. I'm gonna add maybe half a tablespoon. Icing gets very runny very quickly. That was just an additional quarter teaspoon. Took it from basically solid to pretty runny. Let's do a little bit more, like not even another quarter tablespoon, not even another quarter tablespoon. 100 grams of powdered sugar and about 1 2/3 tablespoon. This isn't chilled, so it's not going to, I think it's going to be pretty forgiving and giving me time. Actually, it's spreading itself pretty nicely. I'm actually almost scraping like all the icing off. I want it to run and pool down at the bottom, partly to like hide the sins of my bad fondant covering. Wow. I mean, for the cakes have eyes, I often do really wild, weird things. This is like the most, almost just like traditional cake. Like it's just like a pretty white fondant cake with like a white icing. Little do you know that when you cut into this cake, you're gonna realize it's a goddamn robot. There's cracks all over it. It would be better if I had had a smoother fondant finish, but honestly, it looks pretty chic. For me it looks chic. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit at room temperature a little bit before I add the eyes. So I'm gonna do more dishes. Okay, cake is done, eyeballs are on. I am so glad that I made this cake over the course of 2 days. None of it was hard, but to do all of this in 1 day would have just been a lot. This cake looks great, and I present to you, inspired by my favorite movie, Alien, the cake's a goddamn robot cake. Oh, look at how cute. Also heavy. Ooh, yeah. Look at all that drippage, all that milk sweat. Ooh. It's almost so smooth and shiny. I don't even want to cut into it because it looks so nice. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Okay. Cake is a goddamn robot cake. Cake is a thick goddamn robot cake. Ooh. Oh, look at how professional and nice that slice looks. It's like spicy, molasses, honey, brown sugar. Because the layer of fondant and icing on top is so thin, it actually doesn't bother me that much. Because the real star of this is this like honey brown sugar cake. Oh, wow. Okay, I feel very proud that for arguably my favorite movie, Alien, I produced a great fucking cake. This tastes so good and it is so interesting. Awesome. This is such a good feeling after spending so much time making a cake. So I'm gonna eat this slice and then maybe another one. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Andy. This has been The Cakes Have Eyes. I hope that watching me stumble through making the cake is a goddamn robot cake inspires you to maybe make your own cake. Experiment with some new flavors. Throw some sweet noodle pudding in the middle of your cake. It's really quite good.
You can find the full write-up for this recipe and some more thoughts I have on Alien on thecakeshaveeyes.com. Otherwise, make sure to live deliciously. I'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, there's a deer eating my hydrangeas. Fuck you! Fuck you, deer! I like literally looked up and kept eating. Ugh.